Hi, this is the Flip Classroom video for Quiz 9 of Intermediate Music Theory. We're going to be talking about intervals, minor intervals, and more intervals. So first, the definition of an interval is the distance between two notes. Please memorize that. To figure out an interval's name, there are two steps. One is to figure out the number of the interval. The second step is to then figure out if the interval is major, minor, augmented, diminished, or perfect. So to figure out the number of the interval, you start on the bottom note. Let's use this as an example, C, and call that number 1. Then count that note plus all the lines and spaces in between until you get to the top note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The resulting number will be your interval number for the interval or the space between these two notes. This is a fifth. Let's do one more. We start on C, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you count the last line or space that the top note is on, so 7, and that's a seventh. Now please name these intervals. This is a fourth, sixth, seventh, second, fifth, third, octave, or eighth, and fifth. Now we're going to learn about how to label the major, minor, perfect, augmented, or diminished. A major interval means that the second note exists in the major key. So if we're starting on C, and we have this interval of a C and an E, we know that since E is in the major key of C major, that it's a major third. If this E was flat, then we would know that it's not in the major key of C major. So we would call it a minor third. It would have, instead of 4 half steps, 3 half steps. So before I go on, you need to pause this video and spend 10 minutes and memorize the circle of fifths chart. There are several patterns in the circle of fifths chart that will help you memorize how many sharps or flats are in a key signature. See if you can pick up on those patterns by yourself. Now that you've unpaused it and are a good child and actually paused it to memorize the circle of fifths, we're going to go on to minor intervals. Seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths can be major or minor. It is very easy to make a major interval minor. Simply lower the top note of the major interval by a half step. So we have a major third in the key of F major. There's only one flat, and that's B flat. A exists in the normal scale of F major, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So F to A is a major third. However, A flat does not exist naturally in F major. So what they've done is they've lowered the note by a half step, making it minor. So a major sixth in the key of E major has from E to C sharp. In E major, you know, though, there are 4 sharps, and one of them is C. So this is a major sixth because it exists naturally in the key of E. However, C natural does not exist normally in the key of E major. Normally it's sharped. So they've lowered it from C sharp down to C, making it a half step lower. And in the directions here, it says, if you lower the top note of a major interval by a half step, it becomes a minor interval. Remember, unisons, fourths, fifths, and octaves are never major or minor. They are perfect. So perfect fourth, perfect fifth, perfect octave. So label the major intervals and then make them minor. Example, major 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minor 6. Just put a flat or lower the second note by a half step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we still have 6. And then it's flatted. Here's a major second, 1, 2. To make a minor second, you draw a D, then draw an E, and put a flat in front of the E to make it lowered by a half step. Please do the rest on your own. All right, now label the intervals. It will help you to find the major interval above each bottom note first. So in the key of A, you need to know that there are 3 sharps, and one of those is C sharp. So this is a minor third because C sharp has been lowered to C natural. So I'd write in lowercase m 3. In B flat, I know there are 2 flats. And they are B flat and E flat, not G flat. So first, I count the number to find out the interval number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a sixth. But since G is flat, it's a minor sixth. Because in B flat major, G is not flatted. So they flatted it, making it a half step lower, turning it from major into a minor sixth. Please do the rest on your own. And then there's more interval practice. So this is very simple. Follow these instructions to figure out the interval. 1, count from the bottom note to the top to find the number. And then to know if it's a major or minor interval, you have to know the key signature right here of the bottom note. You use the key signature in the scale of the bottom note to find out if the top note is in the scale. And if it's not, then you need to realize that it's been lowered or raised. If it's been lowered by half a step, then we know from 9.2 that means it's minor. Simply lower the top note of the major interval by a half a step to make a minor interval. So you have some homework to do. 1, you need to know the circle of fifths. To figure intervals out, you must know your major key signatures very well. You must automatically know that C major has no sharps or flats. The E flat major has 3 flats. That G major has 1 sharp. That just has to be second nature to you. So please take some time and study this, or you're going to have a very difficult quiz 9, and quiz 10 is your last quiz. And then you are intermediate music theory experts. So nice job so far. Good luck.